This week, we are focusing on common misspelled words and challenging vocabularies to help students improve their reading and writing skills. Word number 1 is squash. When you squash something, it means you crush or squeeze it with force. For example, when William sees a cockroach, he will squash it with his shoe. In this context, squash is a verb. As a noun, squash is a sport that is played by 2 or 4 players on a court with a small hollow rubber ball. The players must hit the ball onto the playable surfaces of the 4 walls of the court. Word number 2 is ecosystem. Another word for ecosystem is food chain. It shows how organisms and living things are connected in a community. For example, bees have been a staple of the ecosystem or food chain for over 250 million years. If bees go extinct, we could run out of food because bees pollinate the flowers and breathe life into the crops that sustain our ecosystem. Word number 3 is literature. Literature are books published on a particular subject. For example, a famous author of early literature, Aesop, wrote hundreds of fables that used storytelling to explain the natural world. Word number 4 is obscene. The adjective obscene means rude and gross. For example, Johnny was on lunch detention because he used obscene language at school. Don't forget the letter C in obscene. Word number 5 is cicada. A cicada is a type of insect. It has a stout body, wide, blunt head, 2 pairs of transparent wings, prominent compound eyes, and 3 simple eyes. Most cicadas are found in deserts, grasslands, and forests. Male cicadas can produce loud noises. Word number 6 is cetacean. A cetacean is a marine mammal such as a whale and a dolphin. Cetaceans are carnivorous, which means they eat meat. Do not spell cetacean as CETASIAN. An Asian person is not a dolphin or a whale. It is a human. Word number 7 is organic. Anything that is organic means it is natural and free from chemicals. For example, all the vegetables that my grandmother grows in her backyard are organic. Organic food is usually very expensive in the supermarket. Word number 8 is folk. The noun folk is another word for people. For example, my dad is a country folk and he often wears cowboy clothes. Folk also relates to music. It is also a reference to the traditional art or culture of a community. For example, the Aboriginal folk songs bring back memories of Dreamtime stories. Word number 9 is prologue. A prologue is a section at the beginning of a book. It is often an introductory section of the book. For example, a good prologue can often grab the reader's interest level to read the rest of the book. Word number 10 is epilogue. An epilogue is a section at the end of a book that can be a comment or a conclusion to what has happened. For example, In the epilogue, we learn that the main characters all live happily ever after. Word number 11 is interior. Another word for interior is inside. For example, the interior of the new BMW looks awesome. Do not spell interior as I-N-T-E-R-I-E-R. Don't forget the letter O in interior. Word number 12 is exterior. Another word for exterior is outside. For example, the exterior of the house is very old and it needs a proper renovation. Do not spell exterior as E-X-T-E-R-I-E-R. Don't forget the letter O in exterior. Word number 13 is logorrhoea. Logorrhoea is a communication disorder. It is when a person can't control their flow of words and often repeats themselves over and over again, which makes no sense. If you look at the word logorrhoea carefully, you can see that it looks like the word diarrhea. Be careful with the spelling of this word as it can be tricky. Word number 14 is bray. A bray is a loud, harsh cry of a donkey. For example, the donkey let out a bray when the farmer whipped its bottom to walk faster. Word number 15 is evolution. Evolution is the gradual development of living organisms over the centuries. For example, Charles Darwin was the first to introduce evolution to the world. Do not forget the letter O in evolution. Word number 16 is distinguish. The verb distinguish means to tell the difference between the two. For example, it was hard to distinguish the twins when they wore the same outfit. Break the word up to help you remember the spelling. Distinguish. Word number 17 is scythe. A scythe is a tool used to cut grass. For example, instead of using a lawn mower, Grandpa decides to use a scythe to cut the grass. Don't forget the letter C and Y in scythe. Word number 18 is nosegay. A nosegay is a group of flowers. It is typically given as a gift. It has a very interesting name, isn't it? Word number 19 is canopy. A canopy is a cover to provide shade. It does not have to be a cloth. Branches of the trees can form a canopy to provide shades too. For example, tree branches met high overhead, creating a wavery green canopy through which sunlight fell in shadows and coins of light. Word number 20 is sentient. The adjective sentient means able to feel things. For example, a haunted house is sentient and you are stuck inside by yourself. What do you see and feel? How would you escape? This brings to the end of our spelling list 34B. Keep practicing and good luck in your spelling test.